What's going on, everyone? It's Fuzzy. Welcome back to yet another MLB recap. I know. Today is Sunday, so no one cares about baseball because Sunday is God's day. It's football day. But you know what? We're going to go ahead and break down the best baseball news from yesterday. So if you're into that sort of stuff, do not be afraid to stick around, hit that subscribe button. But we're going to go ahead and jump into the first story from yesterday. This one hit like a train. I was not expecting this because I fully expected Verlander to come back healthy and be a big piece in the puzzle to the 2020 Astros. But unfortunately, he was pitching in a simulated game and he felt a pop in his arm. And all of the best doctors in the world, they examined it and they concluded that he does in fact need Tommy John surgery. Hopefully, I'm really praying to the baseball gods that this is not the final time that we have seen Justin Verlander pitching in baseball, because yes, he's going to be 38 years old by the time that he gets back from this, but he wasn't that great in the World Series, and I really want him to get back and be Justin Verlander because he's one of my favorite pitchers of all time. So prayers up to him and his recovery process. Now his team, the Astros, they played big time for him yesterday. They get a W against the Diamondbacks as they pull a win out of their hat with the help of Jose Altuve and Kyle Tucker.
Yeah, I think he had to be. I mean, we'll let you guys take care of some business right here because I think we're just about to tie this thing up.
George Springer rounding. And a line drive into left center field. That'll be down for a base hit. Altuve can walk home. Swing and a miss. Presley gets that chase on the slider. The ball game is over. The Astros win it 3-2.
Can anyone tell me if Vince Velasquez is a good pitcher or not? I cannot tell. Over the last 3 or 4 years, he's had dominant starts and then he's wet the bed the next 2 or 3 starts. Then he's dominant yet again. I mean, he hovers at about 4.5, 5 ERA with a few gems sprinkled in there. And yesterday was a gem. I mean, he goes crazy, and then he gets help from Andrew Knapp and Adam Hazley as they're both hitting above 300 on the year. The Phillies pour some salt in the wound of Blue Jays fans. That is now their 6th consecutive loss in a row, and they're in the 8th spot in the American League. So if the season ended, they're still fine. They'll be in the playoffs. They would probably play the Indians. But there's one team coming for that 8th spot. We'll talk about them in just a second. But if they make it, all of baseball, and especially Robert Manfred, is going to be really happy that they extended the playoffs to 8 teams. I'm almost 100% positive that Giraffe Neck Mark was a happy camper yesterday because the Mets get one of their few wins this year against the Braves, a division rival. Peterson, he dials it up. He gets 10 strikeouts in 6 innings, and Robinson Cano, he leads the way with 3 RBIs. Anything can happen in this final week. For example, the Indians lost 8 games in a row and then they won 2 in a row to get back into the 8th spot. They were in the 7th spot. The Yankees lost 15 of 20 games and are now on a 10-game winning streak. So again, anything can happen. The Angels might be able to squeak in. The Blue Jays could fall out. Who knows? But speaking of the Yankees, I'm going to go ahead and roll a clip that really just made me smile and laugh. Clint Frazier was on first base and he saved a bug's life. Check it out.
So you're saying, David, that Jack Curry had a much easier time in your second book?
Well, I wouldn't say an easier time, no.
Yeah, I tried to get him before I got him with my position card. I was trying to not step on the bug every time I went back into first base, but it was struggling, and I just tried to get it out the way. And I didn't want to be the one to put it out its misery, so I just tried to get it out of my way.
Not only is Clint Frazier a nice guy, well, actually, he's not a very nice guy when it comes to baseball and their families, because every single baseball that gets hit, they have a family. You have to care about them. But, yeah, you know, Clint Frazier's not about that. As he goes off yet again, him and J.A. Happ, they shine yesterday. As I've said before, the Yankees get their 10th consecutive win in a row, and there seems to be no end in sight. Who is going to beat this squad? Maybe the Padres, maybe the Dodgers, but they're all in the National League. They're not playing each other anytime soon. But if we're talking American League teams, I'm thinking maybe the Twins might have a chance, maybe the White Sox. Honestly, as an Indians fan with Shane Bieber and the pitching, that might be the only wild card in terms of beating the Yankees. I don't know. Now, before we show the highlights of the White Sox and the Reds game, I quickly want to showcase the cleats that Trevor Bauer was wearing during the game and what he was showing off pregame. he had some white cleats with a trash can PNG pasted on them. So we all know what he's trying to say. And then even post-game, he was wearing a shirt that said Houston cheated. That's his own brand, so it's not like he just came up with it. Trevor Bauer, he gave up a few runs as the White Sox, they stole a W yesterday. The Reds, they seemingly never are able to score for Antone. You have Luis Castillo and Trevor Bauer. They're all in the bottom 10 for run support for starting pitchers. I would hate to be them. And then one thing I really want to show, so Tim Anderson had 2 home runs yesterday, and then the home run that he hit off Trevor Bauer, we all know that Trevor Bauer has a YouTube channel. Yeah, Tim Anderson, he said this.
Yeah, we know you were all mic'd up then too. Tell us about the home run. What'd you get?
Now I got a fastball right down the middle. He got me a picking. Hey, make sure y'all tell him to put that on his YouTube channel too.
Say what you want about Tim Anderson or Trevor Bauer, but they really know how to market themselves and build a platform. Moving on over to the Indians at the Tigers. So the Indians blow a lead. We'll go ahead and just, disclose that right now. The Indians blew yet another lead. 3-1. Now, I voiced on Twitter my opinion because Phil Maton, he blew the game. I didn't curse him out. I didn't do anything crazy. All I said was, Phil Maton, appreciate you, bud. And then this old geezer comes after me saying he's going to unsubscribe. You guys can see it right now. And then he brings up Mike Trout and calls me an MFer. What did I do? Can someone tell me what I did wrong? This guy was so angry for no reason. I thought it was kind of funny, and I wanted to show you guys. But anyways, the Indians lose as both the White Sox and the Twins win. We'll talk about the Twins game in just a second because Miguel Sano hit a home run so far. I think it's still traveling. But the Nationals fall to the Marlins as Garrett Cooper homers again. I told you all when he came back from his injury that he was going to be a run-producing machine. And remember when Miguel Rojas was hitting 700 in week 1 before Corona hit? Yeah, he is still raking. The Marlins put up 7 runs for Pablo Lopez as the Marlins bullpen has solidified themselves as a top 10 bullpen. They have been a go-to bullpen since the beginning of the season. So if you're going into the playoffs, a healthy and dominant bullpen is always important. So the Marlins, they can check that off their list. The Cardinals were getting no hit into the 6th inning, and then then they weren't getting no hit anymore because this happened.
And O'Neill rips it fair on the line. Osuna to make the catch. Both runners tagging up. Yachty will score. Edman, base hit into left. Bader is waved in. And the throw.
So even though Brian Hayes homers, and I think that he's going to be a solid piece for the Pirates going forward, the Cardinals are able to rally back and they grab a 5-4 victory, which was a big-time W because the Reds lost. We just talked about that. They lost to the White Sox, so the Cardinals gained some ground. They are now 1 game ahead of the Reds in that division. Moving on over to the Royals, Corbin Burns, okay, all of Major League Baseball saying, hey, Corbin, could we have just 1 run, just 1? And he said, okay, you get 1 run. If you take a look at his game log, he has been insane the last 5 or 6 starts. And yesterday was no different. 6 great innings of 4-hit baseball. The Brewers, they get some unnecessary insurance runs because the Corbin Burns effect, as well as the bullpen, they don't give up any runs in that game. So 1 was just enough. As Devin Williams, we've talked about him a couple times, he might win Rookie of the Year in the National League. He lowers his ERA to .39 and strikes out 4 in 2 innings. One more rookie I do want to talk about now. Unfortunately, Jesus Luzardo is not going to be in the discussion for Rookie of the Year, but yesterday he probably throws his best start of his young career. 6 scoreless innings. He strikes out 7 as Rake Lamb, you guys know Jake Lamb, his nickname back in the day was Rake Lamb. He might be back. He had 59 home runs between 2016 and 2017, and he's hoping to return to form with the A's, and so far, so good, as he's replacing Matt Chapman. And also, shout out to Tom Listella. He's hitting well above 300 and has an OPS over 800 with the A's so far. They're going to need both him and Jake Lamb to rake in the absence of Matt Chapman. But I think the A's, they might be fine. I just don't know if they're a World Series team. Not only are the Yankees streaking in the American League East, but the Rays are as well. So they need to play really good baseball and show to the rest of the world that they are a World Series contender. Now, Charlie Morton delivers a gem, and then Randy Arozarena, he wins it in the 5th inning with a 2-run home run. So far, I know he was scuffling in the last couple weeks, but I've been right on Randy Arozarena and Jared Walsh. I think that these guys are going to be good.
Got him swinging.
Struggled in the first. He's held the Dodgers at bay, and a fly ball to center field. Racing on back.
Kershaw gets him swinging with a good slider. Pollock hammers the ball to right field. That sends Blackman back. A.J. Pollock with an opposite field home.
Can someone please tell me how anyone is going to beat the Dodgers? I know the Padres are really good, but the Dodgers are just wreaking havoc. Chris Taylor, who is not one of their best 5 players, he's up to 7 home runs, 30 RBIs, and an almost 900 OPS after a big game against the Rockies yesterday. I mean, the Dodgers are just not fair. And let's not forget Clayton Kershaw. After yesterday's game where he goes 7 innings, only 1 earned run, he lowered his ERA on the season to 2.15. So all I ask from the baseball gods is to please be with him in the postseason. We all know regular season Kershaw is one of the best ever, but he kind of has the Peyton Manning curse where he's really good in the regular season and then he chokes in the postseason. So please, baseball gods, be nice. Miguel Sano pulled an Elvis Presley and he left the building yesterday along with Eddie Rosario and Josh Donaldson, the bringer of rain. We're not going to talk about anything. We're just going to show because you need to hear these baseballs off the bat.
Score top of the first.
Rosario hammers one high and deep to right field. And the 1-0 pitch is swinging a blast into left field and deep. Back it goes, deep it goes, and on to Waveland Avenue.
Drive to right field. Going back is Hayward at the wall. It's gone.
Michael Pineda leads the Twins to a consecutive playoff berth, so back-to-back years in which they are going to the postseason. Are they going to be able to beat the Yankees? Who knows? Now, the final 2 games from yesterday, we have the Rangers and the Angels, and then the Padres at the Mariners. We'll talk about the Angels game real quick because they are playing really well the last 2 weeks. They're actually 3 games back of the 8th spot of the Blue Jays after performing really well yesterday against the Rangers. We have Shohei Ohtani hitting a 6 home run. Hopefully he continues to stay hot, and then Mike Trout with the game-winning RBI in the 8th inning. Don't look now, but again, the Angels are trying to keep pace with that 8th spot and squeak in. If they keep playing like this, if their pitchers only allow 3 or 4 runs a game, they could steal 6, 7, 8 wins out of 10 and make the playoffs if the Blue Jays continue to scuffle. And that would make Robert Manfred very happy because, in my opinion, I feel like he extended the playoffs this year to try and get Mike Trout in along with his new buddy, Anthony Rendon. All that the Padres want to do is celebrate a postseason berth. They are 1 win away from clinching it, and the Mariners said, nope, it's not going to be against us. As former Padre Ty France, he collects 2 base hits, and Luis Torrens, I actually have never heard of him until today's video. He delivers as well with Kyle Lewis. They all steal a W. Justice Sheffield is so good. I'm very jealous of Mariners fans because he should be with his OG team, the team that drafted him, the Cleveland Indians. Could you imagine if they kept him? I mean, yeah, they wouldn't have gotten Andrew Miller in return, but just Aaron Civale, Shane Bieber, have Zach Plesac, and then you would have Justice Sheffield as your 4th or 5th starter. The Indians have a pitching factory. All right, everyone. Well, that is going to do it for today's MLB recap. If you want to stay up to date with all the baseball news before these videos come out, I usually tweet about them, and I also sometimes put it on Instagram. So follow me at Fuzzy from YT. So enjoy the rest of your day. Kick your feet up. Enjoy some football and baseball. Don't forget about baseball. Stay safe and enjoy this day in MLB history.
Fly ball, right field. Pence back. Trout. Wall. See ya. A grand slam for A-Rod. A record-breaking 24th grand slam. And the Yankees lead 5-1.